Good morning, everyone. It's Gail with Traders Help Desk, and we are getting some really nice retracements on the Forex pairs. The first one that I'm looking at is actually the Euro British Pound, and you can really see that the stochastics was overextended to the downside. So was the RSI. And the result is this may go back and test this ATR here. So we would have a retracement up to here, and then we would have to wait and see what happens when price approaches this area. But really a nice setup for the Euro British Pound. Now, the British Pound in general is retracing itself. You can see here that both the British Pound yen and the British Pound dollar, which are these two currencies right here, were extremely overbought. And the result has been a downturn on the British Pound pairs. So if I click over here and just go to the British Pound, you can see, it's just a drastic downturn on the British Pound dollar. And let's go look at the British Pound yen, the same thing. Now you also see this magenta dot on the British Pound yen. That also confirms that you've had divergence on the stochastics and that the market should go down, which is what's occurring now. Expectation is it will come back to this ATR. Now, right now, that's about 149. Depending on how long this retracement takes, this could move up some to say here. So, all in all, it would be a nice retracement on the British Pound. But you also see that a lot of the other currencies have turned down, with the exception of the USD currencies. So, for example, the US CAD is starting to turn up. The USD Swiss franc is going up. The USD JPY has turned up, and that's why all of these other currencies are turning down, okay? And you can visually see that in the RSI window. Let's go and just look at the USD Swiss franc. And as you can see, this ATR right now has stopped it, okay? But you can also see that the stochastics over on the 240 minute has turned up. I would still anticipate it to come back to the 96.40 area. It's probably going to just test this ATR before it goes up. Let's go and look at the USD CAD. You can see it came back to this ATR and it is bouncing up from there. This ATR over here on the 60 minute is supporting it at the moment. Go and look at the Euro. Of course, it's coming back to this ATR, and these will be key areas. Will this area support it? Okay, and that's what it's looking for. It flipped this ATR from red to blue, but now it has to come back and test it to find an area of support. This is what moves the markets. And in this case, you've had this big move up and it's coming back to test to make sure it's supporting. Now, I believe these are setting up. They're having retracements at the early part of the week for setups later in the week, potentially. And that's what we're watching right now. If we go over to the Aussie dollar, really the exact same thing. It's had this upward move and now it's coming back to test this ATR. So I think we're getting some potential setups for later in the week. These are all retracement trades right now or counter trend trades. whichever one you want to refer to them as. But the markets are pulling back early this week for potential moves later in the week.